the compound and they advised Ted to make an immediate explanation. And then they basically had to come up with a story that fit all of the evidence during that time.
Right. Yeah, he fucked up not reporting it right away.
Yeah, I think he genuinely thought no one would find out.
Right. I don't know how he could think that.
So, on a fog-streaked morning, Friday morning, just a week after the fateful reunion, Kennedy appeared in the brick 100-year-old Dukes County Courthouse across from Edgartown's town hall to answer to the Commonwealth's charge of leaving the scene of a fatal accident and failing to report it. The gray week had washed away most of his tan as well as his self possession as he sat in the prisoner's dock with his head down and his chin propped on clenched fists. He looked more a delinquent college student caught in a prank his father could not fix than a United States senator.
Oh, wow.
And he was found guilty, and essentially they suspended his license for 2 months.
Just 2 months?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
The judge said, quote, he has already been and will continue to be punished far beyond any sentence this court can impose.
Wow. Dude, they always say that for people like this.
I know, but if anyone else did it, they would say rot in jail.
Yeah, right. Wow.
And then they spent, so that during that time they had spent a week hammering out the 12-minute apologies that Kennedy was to present that evening on TV to over 30 million Americans.
Dude, does anyone like him? I've never heard of this before, but
They made a movie about it.
oh, okay. I just thought people liked the Kennedys, but like, hopefully not him.
They do. That's the thing. People
Oh,
love them, but it's because they've been so good at like hiding this stuff and just
yeah,
being attractive men. So everyone
right.
thinks they're just the greatest.
Yeah, they do have, what is that? Pretty, what is it? Pretty
Pretty
bias or?
privilege.
Oh yeah, pretty privilege, yeah.
And like, yeah. Yeah. At the time there were rumors that like there was something going on between Mary Jo and Ted,
Mhm.
and that maybe he did it on purpose. Like there's a lot of speculation that basically she knew something or something happened because it's weird that she was in the back seat almost. Like
Right.
he I don't want to be insensitive because there's really no like evidence, but he could have like done something to her and then
Oh,
to hide the evidence to keep her from telling anyone, drove the car into the water and thought, well, no one will ever know
right.
now. And like the police investigation was so bad.
Oh, really?
They didn't really try too hard to figure out if anything had happened beyond his story.
That sucks.
And like there's a ton of speculation that she knew something and that he went that way on purpose.
Right. To me, it does seem like she found something out or something.
Right, or like he drove in the opposite direction of the ferry. Like
Yeah.
maybe it was a wrong turn, but also what he could have been taking her out there to do who knows what.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wonder, like, since they were at a party, did he, like, slip her anything?
He also claimed he wasn't drunk when he did that.
Mm,
And like he wasn't wet at 2 a.m.
yeah. How did he get back to?
Apparently he swam,
Oh.
but he had just been in a car accident. So why would his friends let him swim alone?
Yeah. Well, they got back there somehow too.
Yeah.
It's all weird.
Yeah. And why would you wait until after? Like, he only turned himself in because he had to.
Yeah, I think if no one had ever found it or like found it months later, like he wouldn't have said anything.
Right. And he walked back to where the party was,
Yeah.
and there were tons. It was 1.2 miles back to the party. He walked past so many cabins
Yeah, to get
between,
help.
yeah, between there and
Right.
his friends.
Very weird. And like, yeah, I don't see how his friends would have helped, and then he would just swim back, and then they would
Right.
not say anything either. Like, they wouldn't call anyone either. Like, unless like he said it was just well, no, they said they dived for her, right? Like they knew she was in the car.
Yeah, they all tried to save her, but they couldn't, so they just went home and went to bed.
Yeah, that makes zero sense. How could you just go back to bed? Just, well, she's dead, so we'll get her later. Like, what?
People were awake, like there were still lights on
Yeah,
in the houses along the road at that time.
that's crazy. Just call the cops. I don't see why they never called.
'Cause they didn't want anyone to know.
I can't believe he only got his license suspended for 2 months.
Yeah, and apparently
That's, ugh.
the party went on until 1:30 and then abruptly stopped also.
Oh,
And
really?
at that time, the noise woke the local caretaker, Foster Silva, who was in his house 150 yards away. But he
Oh.
didn't know that Kennedy was there. He said the party wasn't wild, but they were damn loud. If they had kept it up any longer, I would have called the police. At 1 o'clock, I was pretty well damn fed up with the whole thing. It was a damn farce at that hour in the morning. So did he actually leave at 11:15 or did he leave later?
Right. I feel like he left later.
I do too, because why did the party all of a sudden stop at 1:15 unless he came back and said,
Right.
"Guys." And then if he did leave later, where were they going? Because the ferry stopped at midnight.
Right. Yeah. That's very sketchy. Or I don't know. I could see him coming, like I could see him maybe leaving in time, but coming back at 1:30 or whatever, and that's when the party stops.
Right. They also said at 12:30, a county deputy sheriff who lived on Chappaquiddick was driving back from his job at a club, and as he drove, he approached the curve near the bridge near Dyke Road, and a car was coming in the opposite direction into the dirt lane marked private at the head of the road. He came
Oh.
to a stop. Thinking the driver had lost his way, the sheriff stopped his own car, got out, and started to walk 20 feet between the two cars. Before he had taken more than a couple steps, the driver backed up and disappeared down the road. He noted that it was a black sedan and that the letter on the license plate was, like, the first letter on its license plate was L. There were two people in the front and another person or a coat in the rear.
Person or a coat.
He was later convinced that he had seen the Kennedy Oldsmobile. That was at 12:30.
Yeah.
Because it couldn't be the other guy's car, Gargan's car, because he rented a white car with a Y letter in the license plate.
Hmm. Yeah. I think I don't what I just don't like any of this. I think he definitely killed her, but why?
Right. And some people think that when he talked to the like hotel clerk at 2 in the morning, that he was trying to establish an alibi
Right.
because he was dry and not at all. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't.
Right. Yeah, so that way like if they had found her later, then he could be like, "Oh, I don't know, I left without her or something."
Right.
I don't know. I don't really think he had a plan.
I don't think
Or
so.
not a good plan. I don't know. Like, why all of a sudden just kill her? She had to know something, I feel like.
Yeah.
I wonder what if she would like how long had she worked for them?
She She worked on the presidential campaign, and obviously I don't think he ever won. It couldn't have been more than like a couple of years.
Oh, okay. I wonder if she learned anything and was like threatening him or something.
I think they had a relationship. Like, my theory is that he, like, assaulted her and accidentally either assaulted her and she was gonna tell, or accidentally killed her and then was like, okay, well, I have to figure out how to cover this up.
Oh. Or she could have been pregnant.
That's possible too. It was basically these guys and 6 girls. The 6 girls attending the cookout were single and in their late 20s, all former Robert Kennedy workers, and had all attended similar reunions previously. Mary Jo was like a quiet girl and more devoted to Bobby than to Ted.
Maybe he was jealous.
Maybe. It's just a weird gathering to begin with.
Yeah. Well,
And it was literally 6 girls and 4 men who were all married.
yeah. In my mind, this is kind of how political
Men.
parties are.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the women are there and they're younger and they're trying to like make a name for themselves. Like, I don't know, they're trying to play the game.
They're all getting Harvey Weinstein, honestly.
Yeah, right. I think that's, yeah, not an uncommon. Also, this was what, 69?
Yeah.
I feel like this was probably pretty common to have married men and all single younger women that are trying to
Right.
like make a name for themselves too. Like,
He got divorced like a year or 2 later, too.
oh, I think he did. Yeah. Maybe they were having a relationship or something. But then she got pregnant.
Yeah. Also, I think it was JFK Jr. who died in the plane crash. I feel like I said Robert, but
Oh,
I believe RFK Jr. is still alive.
I don't know.
I keep seeing him on TikTok talking about stuff.
I don't know any of them really.
And like where the 2 roads split, because he had driven back and forth on the island like all day. Like, it's not like he didn't know
Oh,
the area, and he
yeah,
basically would have had to make a 90-degree turn to make the like a wrong turn, and the
right.
signs warn that there's a curve in the road.
Yeah. He knew what he was doing.
Right, he went that way on purpose.
Yeah, it's a very small, like it looks very small island. It's not, I'm sure he was there before this too. Like he has to know the area.
Right, and he drove a mile after making the wrong turn too.
Yeah. Also, didn't it say that was a dirt road and the other one's a paved
Yes,
road?
yes.
So as soon as you hit dirt, you would know, oh crap, I'm going the wrong
Right,
way.
this isn't right.
Like,
Oh,
right.
oops, I accidentally drove off a bridge.
Yeah. I feel like he wasn't in the car when it went off.
Yeah,
Like he pushed it off or something.
yeah.
Man, I wish they'd done an autopsy on her, like more.
Oh no.
I feel like she was like unconscious or something.
Right. And there's another theory that obviously may or may not be true, but so Mary Jo had like 2 or 3 cocktails according to like her blood alcohol content. So some people think that maybe she like crawled in the car to take a nap. Like, she didn't want to be inside. She went out to the car and took a nap.
Uh,
And then sometime after midnight, Kennedy decided to take Rosemary to the beach. And when they left, they didn't know that she was in the back seat.
hmm.
Because I think they found her purse in the or like in the back seat. Because they found the purse with her press credentials or whatever in the back seat.
Right.
But they also found Mary Jo in the back seat. So maybe the purse was back there, Mary Jo was back there sleeping. They accidentally went off the bridge trying to get to the beach, and then they got out of the car and left. But there's like no mention of Rosemary anywhere in like the official story. But then again, why would he admit that he was going to the beach in the middle of the night with this younger single